gameplay. Yes, it's me, it's Michael Burhan, your lovely host. I've turned 33 today, so it's a very special birthday edition for me, because here it's over 1 a.m. I was actually born, I believe it was at 3 in the morning here, if my mum's anything to correctly say. But it's not a bad day so far. Having a lovely day, drinking some Pepsi Max, cherry Pepsi Max, of course, and having some toast, because I'm the rather British reviewer, so I tend to eat toast with stuff. And but yeah, it's a good day. In today's episode, we're going to have a very fun one, and very interesting episode, of course, as we're going to spend time to bitch and moan about the things we don't like. And yes, it's our Gaming Grumps episode. We usually do this annually. We do it every Christmas, but I thought, mix things up and do it today instead for episode 111. Speaking of mixing things up, of course, we have the lovely lady who, since her time in I Got Gameplay, has sent her hearts aflutter and has also took many man down a peg. She is the lovely, the tantalising, and she swears like a sailor, so she's like a mini troll in some ways or another. She owes
me a bloody hat.
And she owes Dave a hat. She is Miss Jamie Styles.
I don't owe you jack shit. I can't knit.
Will you learn it for me?
I did
that?
learn at one point, and I got really bored with it. So I can send you the yarn, and
They double as really good self-defense tools as well.
Oh, I have some of the knitting needles, because those things are horrifying.
Well, I'll tell you what, we'll set it a compromise. If you do ever learn to knit, will you knit me a hat?
Yes.
Sorry. There we go, I'm happy with that.
Speaking of hats, of course, you've heard him himself. He's a regular on Slamcast, a gentleman who is one of the co-hosts of Burhan and the Boy. He is the very lovely, the very abrupt, and also the man who's always having problems with his internet. He is Mr. Dave Wade.
You shouldn't have said that out loud, now you've doomed me.
It's happened. I've set the wheels in motion.
Actually, no, I got to remember, don't say bad things about BT, Dave. That's the trigger. That's the trigger.
That's the trigger for them cutting you off. Also, speaking of cutting people off, we have the very tantalising, the man whose voice makes many hearts flutter and many ovaries explode. He is the one and only Excess Gaming Podcast himself, Mr. YouTube.com, Xander Scullion.
Happy birthday, Burhan. Yes. What's up?
See, I just got a half chub just from that. Yeah, I'm good.
That was horrible. You just sounded like a subway rapist.
Do you want to go out with me on a date? Yeah. Just sit there and just do an episode. Just do that. Just me and Xander going. Xander, what have you been up to? We've missed you. You've been on hiatus for 2 weeks. What have you been doing?
I've been busy. I've been busy with work and doing a lot of stuff with the channel. I started doing Let's Plays. I started venturing off into that whole thing, and I've been getting a lot of good responses. A lot of people have been really liking my Let's Plays. So I mean, it's been really good.
Been playing. I saw the recent one. You were playing the Mario Unlimited game, which he gave me a ROM of that, so I might give that a little go on my Ouya. And it's how do you do these Let's Plays usually? Do you do them on your laptop, or do you do a nice little connection from your Ouya to your console?
Well, unfortunately, I don't have a capture card right now, so I am using the God-forbidden emulators. But I'm going to be getting a capture card very soon. I'm just waiting for that tax refund money from Uncle Sam for all my hard work I've done in 2014, so I can get myself a PS4 and a capture card. That's definitely on my list.
Many times he's donated sperm, so he needs this money.
Made the ladies purr on the subway.
I've always been kind of scared. I've always been kind of scared to donate sperm. I've always been kind of scared about that, because I'm always my biggest fear is I'll be in a grocery store and some lady be in front of me in line, and I'll see her and kind of hey, what's up? And I look down and the kid looks just like me.
And he'll look at you and he'll go, "Happy baby."
I'm like, oh my god. So I just hide behind a tabloid.
Like a mini Xander. Or it could be a British Xander.
What's he saying in the mask? Here you go, son, now get out of here, you bother me.
Speaking of little children, we also have the gentleman himself who is on Supercard at the moment. Me and him have been trading stories about how this game is whooping our butt. It's a great little free app that you can get for your iPhone, of course. He is the amazing, the fantastic, and also the very harebrained. He is Mr. Nick Horacek. Nick, what have you been up to?
What's up?
He parties
I was
literally
just playing
drops
Call of Duty.
people.
Playing Call of Duty.
Yeah.
I love it when people
I got my
like...
phone charging right now, so.
Yeah, I've been playing Call of Duty. I'm like Call of
Yeah.
Duty because I've been dropping some number 2s with that Call of Duty.
I like the way you raise your voice at the end, like Brian's novel. Are you playing Call of Duty? Is that what happened?
That's where I thought I was going with it.
Because that's what you do. You're playing some Call of Duty. Oh Lord, yeah. I've finally got past the Ultimate Warrior on 2K Supercard. By the way, Nick, I'm now on the Macho Man. I'm on Epic level. This is one that
I'm still on Natty.
I will point out a positive
on
to
Natty.
every person out there. This is one of the best free games that you can get on your mobile phone. It does have microtransactions.
Let's work on Windows Phone. You were right.
Yeah, and you can change. You can get further in the game without it. You just have to grind and grind hard. It's pretty much like playing an RPG. This game really, it's a really good game. It's so enjoyable, and one of my favourites. I currently got Epic Razor Ramon at the moment, who I've leveled up to full status, and he's the one reason I've been winning so much currently. But it's a really, really good game, and if you're a fan of wrestling or just a fan of these Tops Trumps card games, you're going to love this. So going on that as well, we do have Sean Michelin here at the moment, but he's currently doing something else, so we'll lead him in. So let's do some gaming news, guys, and we're going to bring it up with this. So Mr. Xander Scullion, what's in the news this week?
Well, I definitely wanted to start talking about this because one of the reasons on my YouTube channel, if you guys watch my YouTube channel, you notice I don't do a whole lot of rants. I don't do a whole lot of gaming news. I usually save the gaming news for I Got Gameplay or Excess Game Podcast, but one of the reasons why I don't do news is because something always happens and I end up like having to eat crow and I start getting comments on the YouTube video of be like, oh, this changed. And I get like 1 million comments. And one of the things I wanted to address was the Majora's Mask Special Edition coming out for America and Canada. And I made a video back in November where I was kind of complaining about Nintendo UK releasing all these special editions and Nintendo America was getting nothing. And at the time they weren't. Well, a couple of days ago, they did announce that they're releasing a Majora's Mask Special Edition and it sold out so freaking fast. I'm telling you, it sold out on GameStop and Amazon in about 2 hours. And the pre-orders on Canada sold out in 10 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, and of course I had to edit my YouTube video. I didn't want to take it down because it had so many views, but I had to edit the description in big caps, be like, since filming this, I know there's a limited edition, and yes, I have it pre-ordered, and yes, I know it's sold out, because I was already getting like 10 comments being like, America did get a pre-order. Not back in November, my friend.
Yeah, there wasn't even any confirmation in November that you guys were going to get anything, because Nintendo were basically reserving certain items, like games and exclusive items, for their Nintendo shop. I know, for instance, like I can get, myself and Dave can get a hold of certain amiibos that in America are only like GameStop or Walmart exclusives. Do you know what I mean? So it's a very different situation in terms of what we can get and what you guys can get. I'm glad Nintendo have gone this route, but it's pissed me off a little bit because you guys have got a different special edition comparison to us. I get a pin. That's what I get with my one. I get a bloody silver pin. Right, no figurine, nothing like that, so I'm paying £60 for the game and a pin. And a little art book.
Badge.
Yeah.
And see, that's what else I was mentioning in that video. I was just like, everyone loves Nintendo. Why can't we all get the same special editions? Why do we have to worry about region lock, And if they didn't have region lock, it wouldn't have mattered anyway, because I would have just imported a special edition from the UK at the time. But I mean, it's just like, I don't know. And of course, now since it's so considered rare and highly collectible, there's already millions of reserves, not actual products, but reserves going on eBay for this Majora's Mask is going already $100+ and it was only a $50 special edition.
They're basically manipulating their own market.
Yeah, Billy Chase
Yeah.
was talking about this a little bit. He goes, it makes him sad to see how many assholes are taking advantage of the pre-orders at the moment.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's annoying as hell. You know, it bugs me. It bugs me a lot. You know, and it's one of those situations in terms of what's kind of happening that we end up at a loss. We as the fans end up at a loss. Like, for instance, when I pre-ordered my Majora's Mask game now have their own version that you can pre-order, which has a plastic
an exclusive.
bust. Yeah.
To that.
And it's a bust. It's basically you have the mask inside this plastic case. And I think it's
just getting out of hand.
Yeah. And so the one I've pre-ordered, which is exclusive from Nintendo, I get a pin badge. They get this mask thing, and then you guys get what's that guy's name?
Skull Kid.
Skull Kid. You guys get Skull Kid, and I'm sitting there and I'm just like, for fuck's sake, you know, if it was the same thing, granted, you still have these idiots go on the market and mess around with this stuff, but
Do you think they do it because? Well, they do it because of that. Hey, I said doo-doo. Sorry. They do it because they know, even though they block out, you know, say we can't have, you know, region free and stuff like this when it comes to consoles and stuff. They know that essentially people will cross-border order everything, so
Yeah.
they're just basically going to sell shitload more of them.
and that's the problem. We're not going forward. We're kind of going backwards because they're doing everything they can to kind of, and I would say like mess with the current market, and it's currently killing, people's passion about gaming in a sense. But it is what it is. There's not really much else that you can really say about it.
I think you and Shane Rerez, when we were on the live stream, kind of both had brilliant. You know, you kind of crossed the streams on a few points where you didn't agree entirely with him, he didn't agree entirely with you, but you ultimately came to the same conclusion, which is, seriously, Nintendo, they have a finite lifespan. So is this what you're basically going to do? You're just going to pump as many out as you can, and then we'll end up with nice things on our shelves in a couple of years' time that we can't use.
I think the main goal of Nintendo with the terms
At least they
of
look
Amiibos,
pretty.
well, in terms of the Amiibos, I think they're trying to find cross-use for them. But the ones that can only be used on a certain game,
Yeah, that's shit.
yeah, they're going to be rare. And that's where the problem lies, because I've already seen stores like GameStop hold back, you know, it's been said by Boogie that they're holding these little items back so that they can basically up the price and say that they're second-hand.
Well, you know what happened to me?
Yeah, go
What
on,
happened to
Tyler.
me at GameStop
Yeah.
was, and I think a lot of the GameStop employees, I'm not saying all of them, but I'm just saying there are some out there, they're holding on to these Amiibos.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say they're holding on to them is because I went online and I saw they had a Captain Falcon at a GameStop up the road, like about 30 minutes away from my house. And it said low stock, so I called them up. I'm like, hey, I'm on your website right now. It says you guys have a low stock of Captain Falcons. You know, do you guys have any? And the guy was looking around and he was like, well, I don't see any on the shelf right now. Right now, the Amiibo section is completely bone dry. And he was like, wait a minute. I see one right here in the back. He was like, I'm looking at it right now. And I'm like, okay, is there a chance I can pick it up? Yeah. I was like, is there a chance I can pick it up? He's like, sure, man. He was like, let me get your name first. So I told him my name. And I was like, I'm on my way right now. I went there and I drove up there. I go up there and I asked the guy, I'm like, hey, I'm here to pick up a Captain Falcon that was held for me. And the guy was like, what's your name? And I told him. And he starts going in his computer. He's sitting there typing. And he thought I had pre-ordered it. And I'm like, no, I didn't pre-order it. I went on your website and I called someone and blah, blah. And he was just like, well, just to let you know, unless you pre-order it, there's a chance you're probably not going to get it. And I'm like, well, you guys said there was one in here. And then finally the manager came around and saw what was going on. And the manager knew me from my past of working at GameStop. So he was like, oh, hey, what's up, man? He gave me a handshake and he was like, what's going on? And we told him and he was just like, is it back there? And the guy's like, yeah. He was like, yeah, it's someone's pre-order. He was like, but it's already been 2 days. They haven't picked it up. Sell them to Captain Falcon. So the guy wasn't going to sell me to Captain Falcon. He was trying to hold on to it. And also, he was trying to get me to pre-order more amiibos with the threat of being, with the threat intention saying if I didn't pre-order these amiibos, I wasn't going to get them.
Yeah, but that wasn't the employee. That was GameStop. That's the rules that they're putting into play. Because a lot of these stores are doing the same thing. Walmart, for instance, as well, and they're holding on to these to make sure that they can up the price. I know down here.
I like to think that when the person who showed up to get that on pre-order, but it was their fault for being too late, was Sheldon from Big Bang Theory, and when he found out that you stole his, well, you didn't stole, you know, you got his amiibo, he looked up to the sky and just went, Wheaton!
Scarlet!
I know. I felt so bad. I was like, I had someone's pre-order. I was like, oh well, that's how pre-order goes. Yeah,
true.
I can't believe I said you snooze, you lose.
I'm still waiting on 2 of my amiibos from Nintendo, which was Zelda and Little Mac from the special the second editions, the second unit run of those, and I'm waiting on those. And one of my biggest peeves with that is the company who are supposed to deliver them. I think someone's basically put their hand in, and they've probably ended up somewhere on eBay. So now I've got to fill in a form, do a reclaim, but they've said to me, we can't guarantee that we'll basically replace them. We might just give you a refund. I was like, I don't want a refund. I want these. You know, this was, the Zelda one was for my daughter. Little Mac was for me, of course, because I love Punch-Out. I'm a big fan of Punch-Out. But it bugs the living crap out of me that I've got to do this. And it was supposed to be here on the 26th of December, and it still hasn't arrived yet. So, yeah.
Ooh.
I love the fact that people are going so apeshit as to steal other people's amiibos just so they could try and resell these at a higher value. You know, if the person gets caught, they're going to get fined.
It's basically crack. Nintendo have just invented the modern day equivalent of crack.
Pretty much. But I don't like limited stocks. I think if you can basically make more of these and make sure that your customers get them, I think you need to. It shouldn't go the way that it's going at the moment. But yeah, well, you know, we spent too much time on that. Anyway, Nick, do you have any news for us?
I got nothing. I've been kind of out of the loop. That Amiibo thing sounds fucking ridiculous.
It is.
But I didn't realize America was even getting a Majora's Mask special edition. But now they seem to be out, so fuck.
Well, you are the land of the free.
Yeah.
And the home of the Amiibo.
Exactly.
Right, so Microsoft's got already a current list of games announced for 2015. But the studio director, Kevin Leib, mentioned during an interview on the Inner Circle podcast that there's more games on the menu. Now, Leib explained as part of the Phil philosophy that the way Microsoft Game Studio works, they don't target a specific month for any game. They want big games in the holidays, but they don't avoid spring. They have Ori, they have Blind Forest, which is a phenomenal upcoming game, Scream Ride, that's coming as well. And they've got more coming as of yet.
Where's Halo 5?
Now, what he says is we've got a couple of other things coming out before the fall, but haven't been announced yet. He continued saying that even they won't make official announcements, there's a couple of other games and big titles coming this fall that will get people excited about the Xbox One and will surprise gamers when they hear what those are. There are also games planned for spring 2016 already. The things that may fall into that time and get moved around by Microsoft if they decide what they want to do. So this is a good thing. What do you guys think of this? Do you think that in terms of gaming, in terms of these games that are coming out for the Xbox One, does that show that Microsoft's actually now starting to give a damn?
I think it's what they should have done in the first place.
Yeah, I think Xbox is finally starting to, and a lot of it's, they've changed, management. They're finally starting to kind of wake up a little bit. Only thing is, man, I wish they would have kept that price of $350, man, because they were dominating the console holiday market with that, and I could see sales dropping now to $399. Yeah.
Wow, they actually raised. I've never even heard of that. You don't drop a price for something and then, or at least in this country, and then.
Well, they did say when they announced it that it was going to be for only a limited time. You know, they weren't going to do it now. Do you know what I mean?
So basically, it's have a happy Christmas, but we'll fuck your New Year.
Pretty much. If you're looking to basically be one of those people who are going to get these and expect the price point to stay the same, you're going to be mistaken.
What's it here, by the way?
I believe it's around about 320 for the console itself, but I have seen cheaper. I saw a PlayStation 4 going for $275.
By the way, North America, never complain about the price of your consoles again, because every time a console comes out in the UK, they add at least 25% to the price.
Yeah, but saying that as well, consoles have been a lot cheaper in comparison to their counterparts back in the day.
Yeah.
If you look at conversion rates and stuff, we paid a lot more for our, retro consoles than we did for our modern consoles. So,
when I imported my Japanese Mega Drive when I was 12, I paid £189 for it. That was many, many, many months of working at my dad's garage and washing up in a pub on a Sunday, saving. But I do remember feeling a certain sense of satisfaction because I had the superior one that when it was actually released initially by Virgin in this country, it was also £189. I was like, wow, that never happens.
Yeah, my dad got my brother's Japanese Mega Drive for him way back. I don't know where he got it from.
I'm going to be buried with mine, I've decided.
So, Dave, do you have any news for us today?
I'm still waiting for my new camera. There's a void. There's a hole in my life that I can't. Actually, this is going to make me sound really insane. Actually, this is not a beef or piss and moan about gaming, but this is a piss and moan about mail order in general. So I managed to track down people out there. My camera died, right? I mean, I'm not too worried about it dying because I literally killed it by overuse. Making a couple of videos a day for 3 solid years. That's gameplays, Adam. So I managed to track it down because it's discontinued and I know it'll work for me. And yeah, they said, "Dear Mr. Wade," they sent me an email, very nice of them. They said, "Dear Mr. Wade, we would like to tell when your camera's going to come next week." And I'm like, all right, it goes. And I'm not making this up. It said, it may come on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday.
Or may it come Saturday and Sunday, chill on Sunday.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So pretty much the whole fucking week then.
Yeah.
Thank you. So how do I wait in for that? But this is the really, really scary thing. You went back through my unlisted videos, and this is going to make me sound mental. I've got enough unlisted content to release a video every day for a month.
Yeah, Dave basically uploads a ton of videos prior. So
it's called insomnia.
That as well. But yeah.
You say nice. No, I think what you meant to say was cough mentally ill.
Well, what we're going to do now, guys, we're going to go on a little break. And we'll be right back after a little bit of music. I'm going to just basically have a look here, see what music we've got. I'm going to grab something out from Mega Moran's album, Commission, because I like listening to his album. It's a great album. You get it free as part of if you're a Kickstarter backer to his recent Kickstarter. Great album. Lovely tracks as well. So let's pick a track, shall we, from Commission. We'll do a track called Welcome to the Future. So we'll play that, give these guys a little bit of a break, and we'll be right back after this with some bitching and moaning about the gaming industry. So
welcome to the Mega Man Show. Let's go. Welcome to the Mega Man Show. Let's go. Off to a place, big ass space, where nobody ever been before. Welcome to the Mega Man Show. Let's go. Welcome to the Mega Man Show. Let's go. Off to a place, big ass space, where nobody ever been before. Yeah. From civil rights marches with Martin Luther to living in the sky. Welcome to the future, East Coast. Come on. West Coast. Come on. Y'all know what it is way before they threw the drum on. Mega Ran returning to Mega Man. Can he do it again? Why, yes he can. The future's here. so hop aboard. You running late? I guess it's time to soar. No more poverty. It was hard to get by. Now ain't no stopping me. I'm like Marty McFly. Life is automated. Everything is enhanced. Kept an open mind. Glad I gave it a chance. On the verge of extinction, facing apocalypse. Machines rose up. We put a stop to it. Glory, glory. Hallelujah. We here now. Welcome to the future. Welcome to the Mega Man Show. Let's go. Welcome to the Mega Man Show. Let's go. Off to a place, big out space, when nobody else ever go. Before. Welcome to the Mega Man Show. Let's go. Welcome to the Mega Man Show. Let's go. Off to a place, big out space, when nobody ever before. What a day, what a day, what a day, what a day, what a day. I'm so confused. I don't know where to go, what to do, I see no way. What do I do? When the master pulls that plug and flips the light. I'm still here. Or you think this is a game, but it's my life. You ain't care. What a day, what a day, what a day, what a day, what a day. I'm so confused. I don't know where to go, what to do, I see no way. What do I do? When the master pulls that plug and flips the light. I'm still here. Or you think this is a game, but it's my life. Yo, sitting at my command center, contemplating my future. I try hard, but I can't get a break, I guess that I'm used to. But it's hard to protect this town, taking while these creations down. 87, I started this. 2014, I can't quit now. Even though I want to, feel like they take me for granted. Can't get a new game out for my fans, they tell me that they can't stand it. What am I supposed to do? I'm just a man in a vocal booth. And if I did have an answer, would you dudes even do what I told you to? So lonely when you get to the top of the strap heat. Driving is cool, but the view's better in the backseat. Now I'm sitting, growing older while these kids surpass me. Might be better on the other side, if you ask me. What a day, what a day, what a day, what a day, what a day. I'm so confused. I don't know where to go, what to do, I see no way. What do I do? When the master pulls that plug and flips the light. I'm still here. Or you think this is a game, but it's my life. You ain't care. What a day, what a day, what a day, what a day, what a day. I'm so confused. I don't know where to go, what to do, I see no way. What do I do? When the master pulls that plug and flips the light. I'm still here. Or you think this is a game, but it's my life. Listen, Mega Man, I'ma speak for the fans. So sorry we let you down. Been riding for 25 years, and we ain't going nowhere now. We make fan art, albums, unofficial games. Not for fiscal gain, so they don't forget your name. Mega, you changed our lives, now we gon' give it back. For as long as we live, so don't forget it, Jack. Blue Bomber forever, transcending generations. I seen the love in Japan and every single nation. We just got sick of waiting, didn't take it out on you. Petitions, they don't help, they need to see our view. But no matter what, we won't let them forget. We can speak with our wallet if they letting you sit. Heard you ready to quit, that they never can come. Cause you're a hero and your job, it never is done. Long as evil exists, you must stay on the guard. I know you're so frustrated, know you taking it hard. But we praying to God that they see in the light. And we gon' do what we can, we believe in the fight. So your struggle is ours, through the sweet and the sour. Because we are the people, and the people are power.
Get the fighting the rats!
Okay, Wily, it's time to give up and get back inside the game.
Are you joking? This is a minor setback. I don't give up that easily. Because I'm a ninja.
Huh?
Here's a smoke bomb.
Whoa!
Don't think it's over yet.
That was weird.
Is that the bloke who does the voice for Cobra Commander and Megatron?
I think so. It's Mark Hamill. So, guys, that was Mega Ran from his album Commission, which was Welcome to the Future and also Still Here. So now we're going to be basically talking about our gaming pet peeves. Basically the things that have bothered us, not just from the year 2014, but stuff that's basically being co-current in terms of gaming. So let's basically move on to that now and start firstly with Mr. Nick Horacek. Nick, is there anything in gaming that's kind of bothered you in terms of the gaming industry in 2014 or currently in the start of 2015?
As far as 2014, shit. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. What was it? I was trying to think. I know we had some big controversies. I just don't know what they were. But
So
I've got nothing.
Let's
right
go
now.
back to
Go to somebody else.
Yeah, let's go back to you, Xander, because I know there's a lot of things that kind of bothered you in 2014. I know, being somebody who's very active on YouTube and also with the Access Gaming podcast, there have been issues, and I've known a lot of people have been. The one thing that a lot of people seem to have been having problems with this year as well is stuff like the Gamergate movement, which has gone one way or the other in terms of the way that people have been behaving. You've had certain people acting in terms of the movement to the point of being very, very aggressive and angry.
Threatening people's lives.
Yes. And then
I would definitely say that's a load of bullshit. That's definitely pissing me off.
And then you have...
Disagree with someone all you want, but when you start threatening their life, then you can just fuck right off.
Yeah. Then you had others who have been very, pro-gaming but anti-gaming journalists, because there's been a lot of corruption in the gaming journalist and media currently going on as we speak. So, what's your take on that at the moment? Do you feel that that now this is basically gone full force, it's kind of died down a little bit more now, that the movement's kind of boiling itself down to just an anti-feminist movement rather than doing anything positive? Or do you think it's just, like with anything, you've got people who are for and others who are very aggressive in terms of what it's supposed to be about?
I think it's died down a lot, but then again, I really don't pay attention to Gamersgate a whole lot.
Yeah.
And the reason why is for me, I think the whole thing is like that kid that acts up in class.
Yeah.
And the kid, he's acting up in class because he wants attention. And
say exactly where you're going with that.
Yeah, and it's like one of those things. Like, if you want the kid to stop acting up, stop giving him attention. And I remember I would tell so many people, because so many people they'd go on these huge debates and they go on this huge thing, and I'm like, you guys are eating out of these people's hands. It's like, don't feed the trolls, and that's exactly what they've been doing. So I haven't been paying attention.
You can say sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me.
Yeah, it's no one of those things. Like, I just have not been paying attention to it because there's so many. To me, honestly, there's so much more in gaming that's going on to me that's more important, because I look at gaming as entertainment, and there's a lot of the entertainment stuff that's been going down that I think a lot of people haven't been looking at. They haven't been looking at, the money that Sony has been losing. Sony has already estimated, I'm talking about Sony as a whole, I'm not talking about PlayStation, but Sony as a whole has already said they expect to lose $2 billion. And that's a lot of money.
It's collapsed as well, hasn't it? They used to be the biggest HD seller in the world. The TV market's completely collapsed.
Yeah, so people aren't really looking at that. They're too busy, stroking each other's ego with this gaming journalism and not looking at, well, if anything happens to these games, what the fuck are we going to be reporting on? And another thing I've been looking at too is, and it's been grinding my gears, is all these HD fucking remakes. There's so many HD remakes that's been coming out, and I understand the reason why they're doing it. Sony has said, well, this is, to kind of help the people that didn't have a PS3, that had a 360 and now they have a PS4. They didn't get to play Last of Us. Well, over 90% of the PS4 library and Xbox One library are games that we played last generation. And what really bothers me is a lot of people don't see it that way, and they're just gobbling it up. Like, they're already making another HD remake of Final Fantasy X and Final Fantasy X-2, and they're already making another HD remake of fucking Kingdom Hearts. How about you do this, Square Enix? Yeah, how about you do this?
Just picked
Yeah.
up like a year ago. I'm so
Exactly.
confused.
Exactly.
Also,
And it's,
people are reason for gobbling it up. It's not just because they want to experience these games again, but because it's every generation this happens, and people lambasted the Wii U for it, but it's got far more than everyone else right now. But it's like there's just no massive. You would expect there to be a far bigger catalogue of games for these systems right now. We're a year, 18 months in or something, and it's so limited. But then you raised a good point, Xander, which is I understand why people would buy them because they want something to play. And yes, maybe Grand Theft Auto 5 looks amazing and shiny on the new systems. But ultimately, if you keep buying this shit, then you're just fueling the beast. That is, they're going to more just shovel out this fucking HD remake crap as opposed to making new content.
Yeah, it's the way I look at it is like I didn't spend almost $500 to play a game that I can buy in the bargain bin at GameStop, and say I don't have a PS3. PS3s are so freaking cheap right now. You could go ahead and buy yourself a PS3 and buy yourself The Last of Us and Grand Theft Auto 5 and still have enough money in your wallet that you could have yourself a couple of pizzas and a 12-pack of beer and have a good night, So I mean, like.
And Last of Us is
so
actually really good. Like, why would you need to upgrade? I don't get it.
Well, that's a good point because it's you look at something like Grand Theft Auto 5 and it's such a good, solid, all-round, perfect game that I know it's not everyone's cup of tea. Can you argue that putting out better visuals is actually going to change the game that much or make it that much better experience?
Well, let's let Xander talk here because you're interrupting him for a second. Go on, Xander.
No, it's fine, it's fine. But no, what I was going to say though was this: the HD remakes are just pissing me off, and it's just like I said, it's getting to the point that. That's a big reason why I haven't bought a PS4 or an Xbox One yet. It's because there's nothing been out there that's been like, oh shit, I need to get one. Because here's another thing. You got the HD remakes coming out. And then all the brand new games are coming out like Shadows of Mordor, the new Assassin's Creed, Alien Isolation, Evil Within, all these games that, to me, in my opinion, should be exclusive to these new consoles and should only come out for these new consoles are also coming out for the PS3 and the Xbox 360. Now, I will say, for some of the people that can't afford the new systems, this is like God sent because they're like, well, shit, I can still play my current console because I can't go out and spend $500 on a new console. But the thing is, it's like, imagine... back during the day when the Nintendo and Super Nintendo came out, Nintendo, when they made Super Mario World, they made that exclusively for Super Nintendo, and that made people want to buy a Super Nintendo. If they made Super Mario World on the Nintendo, people would have been like, why do I want to buy a Super Nintendo? So I mean, it's like they're shooting themselves in the foot.
They're not giving people that urge to upgrade, basically, or progress to the next generation.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't.
How inferior is my version going to be on this generation? The problem is as well.
What they're saying is they don't know how to. The currently third parties don't know how to cater for these consoles. They don't know how to make games for these consoles. We're still in. It still looks 7th gen on an 8th gen console. Does that make sense? It does look pretty, but it doesn't handle the way that these consoles are built to handle these games, and thus is the problem. I'm anti. Your stance on this, Xander. I think making it for the PS3 and Xbox 360 is great until, say, maybe in 6 months to a year's time, if people still haven't jumped on the bandwagon in these consoles, that's when you should basically go, right, we're not going to feed you anymore. We're not going to give you these games.
Yeah, to me, it's just giving... They're, as a business standpoint, they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot.
Not really. They're covering all bases because they're selling a lot more copies if they print these games on 7th and 8th gen consoles. But the 8th gen consoles get a lot more special content. Like, for instance, me and Nick we did a review of WWE 2K15. When we did that review, we talked about the fact that the comparison between the PS3 and the PS4 variations and the Xbox One variation of this game, where the next gen guys got a lot more content in comparison to the 7th gen guys who got next to nothing. We just got a copy and paste version of the previous iteration of this game.
Oh my god, so it's Blu-ray versus DVD all over again.
Yeah. It was literally just like, we know the last game that we did, that's fine, we'll just make the same, we'll just copy that game and give it to people for, the previous gen. And they sold it in limited quantities as well. So anybody who wanted to play this version of the game, most stores wouldn't even stock it.
Yeah.
So it is really.
It's already down on the 360. It's already down to 15 quid in my local street, and it really annoys me because I bought it for 39.
Yeah, I've refused. I'm at the moment in terms of games I now either get a review copy or I rent. I refuse to purchase something off the bat now, or I just wait for it to go down in price and buy pre-owned because it's.
What you were talking there was, Xander, it kind of ties into my pet peeve of gaming last year, but ties into gaming, a problem with gaming from day one. Because you raised a really, really good point, Mr. Burhan, when you said people are saying that they don't know how to completely properly develop for these systems right now, so it's easier to port older stuff over. How many times have we heard that with every generation of consoles, which is give us a little bit of time to truly understand the hardware? Well, couldn't you roll dev kits out like a fucking year before you launched the hardware because you knew you were going to do it?
How much these dev kits cost, though, Dave? The thing is, people don't get these dev kits for free. Most, before, companies used to get dev kits for free. I remember when, if you were exclusively publishing with someone, they would give you a free dev kit. Now you've got to pay for these dev kits, so you're paying for the privilege to produce these games for this console, plus you're paying royalties from your
defending that, but at the same time you're also buying a license to make money.
Yeah, no, of course, I agree with you, but it's not that clearly that black and white. The problem is, I think, in terms of companies like Sony, for instance, who's, as Zan's put it, it's hemorrhaging money, it makes no sense whatsoever if you're going to basically get third parties to buy your product and buy into your product, that you're doing it. And Sony's doing this a lot as a way to kind of push their product and say, oh, look, it's shiny and new. My issue with the HD remakes is the same thing what I've said with Xander here, which, because I agree with him on this wholeheartedly. Is there any difference, gaming mechanic-wise? The only game that seems to have done something different on next gen was Grand Theft Auto 5, where they give you the opportunity, the ability now to actually play the game in third-person view. Which means you don't see the character, you see out of his eyes, his or her eyes.
Oh, nice! Didn't know that.
Yeah, so it's a very different experience in terms of that, but they're still suffering from the same problems that we had on the 360 and PS3, which was, GTA Online was basically not able to load. Yeah, but they are currently fixing that as well, and providing people with new providing people with currency and stuff to kind of tide them over. So
HD remakes are nice in the sense that there are, as much as I lambast them, there are some games I would love to see remade in HD, but at the same time I think, and I don't blame people, as I said, blame people for buying them, but as long as we keep buying them, then we're essentially holding back the new sort of, stunners, the new, anything that's innovative, anything that's new, anything that takes real advantage of the hardware.
Well, I still
sure, HD remake is polished, but
I still sell on HD remakes after purchasing Silent Hill HD collection, which I've got the 360 version, which is broken, unplayable.
Oh.
I will say this: I'm not against HD remakes, but I feel like there should be a buffer.
Yeah.
Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD, that made sense. Final Fantasy X and X-2, when it first came out, that made sense. Kingdom Hearts, that made sense. But, when you have these games that either you already made an HD remake, like Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts, or if these games are only a year old, like The Last of Us, why are you doing it?
Yeah.
That makes no sense. It's honestly a full stage money grab. And I hate it because I'll speak my opinion on it, and I'll get the Sony fanboy that jumps in and they'll be like, well, this is to help, Sony, when, the people that have PS4s, they didn't have a PS3 last generation. It's who the fuck cares? It's then go get a PS3. They're freaking cheap right now, I didn't have a Dreamcast when it first came out, and you know what I did? I went out and bought a Dreamcast,
same.
years later.
Yeah. My brother was the one who had the Dreamcast, and I loved the little system because I used to take the VMUs into college. And that's the one thing that kind of bugs me as well. I don't feel that anyone else is being innovative anymore.
No one's trying new stuff, especially with the control pad.
Yeah, I do agree though. I'm still a firm believer, and I know Sony was going to do this at one point, packaging the PlayStation Vita with the PS4 console. Because,
that would have been amazing.
Yeah, Chris from Pixels Without Borders was talking about his PS4. All you have to do is link the bloody machine to the console, and I could go, if I leave my console on at home, I can go out. Say I'm at the gym and I want to play some GTA while I'm on the treadmill, I can do that.
Well, that's another thing we can kind of talk about. We can talk about the Vita.
Yeah.
You know, because I love the Vita. I think the Vita is a very heavy piece of machinery, a great handheld, but Sony has no idea what they want to do with it.
Yeah. It's my little gem. I did like the fact when they were putting games out like on the PlayStation 3 and releasing them so you would get like a download code for a Vita copy. I loved that idea. I don't like the fact that I can't, when I do a link between my PS Vita and my PlayStation 3, I can't do anything. You know, I literally can't do anything with my, like I can't play any of the games, cross-play them off the PlayStation 3. But apparently on the PS4, every game is cross-play.
That's good.
Well, that bugs
Or
me.
the fact that the freaking Sony said they were no longer going to be releasing AAA titles on the Vita.
Yeah.
What?
I think that's stupid too. And it's like, I play, one of the games that I play a lot on that thing, which is like crack to me, is Jetpack Joyride. Love the game. I wouldn't mind seeing it as like a kind of a bridge, like, you know, releasing mobile games and stuff on the Vita. I would love to see those. You know, I wouldn't mind paying for a mobile game.
WWE Supercard.
Yeah, and just basically playing it on the Vita, you know, because it's a nice little system.
San Andreas.
Yeah, San Andreas. I love my Vita wholeheartedly, and I think it's the potential for this game. There's only one game that kind of unlocked the potential of it, which was Tearaway. It used every single function on this little machine, and it's a great, great little console as well. Now, something that bugs me, which is pissing me off at the moment, is the whole self-entitlement that people seem to be having nowadays. I mean, oh my god. You guys, like, heard about the story, I think it came from Review Tech and also from Alpha Omega Sin reported this, how a group of individuals went out to, was it a Walmart in Australia or was it another store, I believe? It was a, trying to think what the store was called. Target, that was it. And they basically, about 5,000 signatures got GTA 5 on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One taken off the shelves.
That's Australia, though. They tend to ban games like that, but still, that's pretty dumb.
It is pretty dumb, and it's basically they were going on about how, you know, they listen to customers, and when you look at that and think 5,000 people got a game banned from a store. For me, I just look at it and think do they not like money? Do they not want to make any money?
I know, they listen to their customers. Let me tell you why that's bullshit.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, I feel so bad for our gamers from the land down under because they have to pay so much for games to begin with. Like, their games are so much more expensive. The retro market over there is just, it's insane. It'd be like all of us, like, collecting for the Neo Geo. That's them trying to just collect Atari games. I feel so bad for them. And then, you know, they get all these games that are rated M, like Grand Theft Auto 5 wasn't the first one. I remember Mortal Kombat 9, or no, it was Mortal Kombat 10. No, 9. I'm thinking of, yeah, it was 9.
10's coming
got
out,
banned.
which I can't wait for.
Yeah, but that one got banned from Australia as well. They couldn't experience fucking Mortal Kombat, man.
Yeah, Yahtzee was talking about this, how apparently he gets extremely pissed off about the whole supposed moral stance that Australia has on gaming, because they'll ban anything. If someone doesn't like the look of something on the cover, they'll ban it straight away.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at the list of banned games from Australia. It's kind of long. It's a lot of them, and it's all kind of ridiculous actually.
But it makes no sense.
Edited and then rated up, which is insanity.
But you get like a group of people who say, "Oh, we don't like this," and haven't played the game, and then suddenly the game is now like, you know, that's it. You know, it's not going to happen. And that bugs me a lot because you're taking away people's freedom of expression, and it's not just Australia though. It's happened here as well. What was that new game that came out on Steam? Hatred.
Yeah, freaking Hatred though. Like, I don't really agree with that game too much.
Game.
I think
it is a troll game.
Yeah.
They did it to be controversial in the same. Do you know what I mean? It's one of those things you sit there and go, okay, I can tell you're being controversial. But at the same time, that shouldn't have been taken out for Steam because a few people didn't like it. You know.
Yeah, it's still freedom of speech.
Yeah. So
the only thing I hated about Hatred, no pun intended, was there's so much controversy with violent video games as it is.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, why would you? It's like, dude, why would you fucking do this? You know, it's like now it's going to put more shit, you know, for the video game industry when someone's trying to make, like, say, Mortal Kombat X, Mortal Kombat 10 when it comes out, you know, now that's going to put more light towards, like, the next Grand Theft Auto because this game Hatred comes out, and you know media, they focus on that one game, and they think that's what all video games are. So it's just kind of like, Hatred was just, like, going to be that scapegoat that was going to put gaming back in the freaking 90s of this huge controversy. That's the only thing I didn't like about it.
But it's basically, you know, these are the games that give people like Sarkeesian power to say what they say in terms of the crap that they spew out, because they say, well, this game proves me right, you know, and that's the problem. So, you know, Sean Michelin here, you've just come back on. Tell us a little bit about what grinds your gears. What in the gaming industry do you hate?
That's a bit of a loaded question. Well, I mean, like, when it comes to just, like, games being pushed back, it's a two-sided thing there, because, one, yeah, they might have, like, the latest Assassin's Creed has been any proof of, you know, something that should have been pushed back a bit more, where it's a positive thing, but sometimes you got different dealings, like, I think South Park was delayed for a little while because of the whole thing with THQ and everything like that, and that's what kind of, when you gotta wait so long for something, like, I spoke about it in the pre-show, like, for a quick second, for a dodge off for a bit, was, Fallout 4, we keep getting it teased, like, every so often, little bits here and there, and just waiting so long. Bethesda's had loads of time to try to, you know, knock this one out, but they're just making people wait. I mean, Obsidian's even got on record saying they're gonna make a sequel to New Vegas, but they gotta wait for all the next-gen consoles to be out, which is now.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I really hate. And the other thing is when they milk the shit out of something, like, you know, Harmonix and everybody like that with all the Rock Band games and Guitar Hero and DJ Hero, and then, you know, and I mean, like, when you had, like, Guitar Hero Aerosmith, which was not a bad game, mind you, but it really oversaturated the market.
Yeah,
the tendency to oversaturate the market, I find, is one of my biggest pet peeves in the gaming industry.
And that's the problem. It killed the whole Guitar Hero franchise, didn't it? Because of that.
Yeah.
You know,
Here's a peeve. It comes back to what you said earlier on about. Sorry, my internet's gone pants up again. I do apologise.
Yeah, it's some unnamed company.
Yeah, we're not going to say it because then I'll just go. You know, the exclusives and the different variations between markets that we talked about before with Amigos, but what really annoyed me in this country, because I really did want Guitar Hero Van Halen, because I love Van Halen, and I'm the only person on Guitar Hero I know that can play Eruption perfectly. Thank you, you're welcome. And
Damn.
I do remember getting to the end of it with sweat pouring down my face and just going, I have no idea how I did that. Hold me, I'm scared. And but in the States, if you pre-ordered, you got Guitar Hero Van Halen with Guitar Hero 5, didn't you?
Yeah, if you pre-ordered Guitar Hero 5, they sent you Guitar Hero Van Halen in the mail. Yeah, I was on a big Guitar Hero
We had to buy
kick.
that game separately for £39.
What?
Oh!
Do you know what we got if we pre-ordered Guitar Hero 5?
That's a little bit of fucking thing. Yeah.
Fuck all. And it really annoyed me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is, because obviously my Wii, like last week's show, is soft modded. I tried to pre-order it, and some of the fucking dirty little wanker companies in the States who knew that this was the case weren't. Well, it had probably been throttled by the company or the distributor. Weren't allowed to ship them to the UK. So I basically had to walk into HMV one day on a rainy Saturday and just go, "Can I buy Guitar Hero Van Halen?" And the bloke, and I thought I could see it in his eyes. You're looking at me like a prick because I know I'm the only person in the world paying for this right now. Fuck off.
Yeah, it's revenue streams in a sense. A lot of these companies tend to go through this, and I don't see, you know, there are stuff that you look at it and think that's really questionable behaviour, and most of it you can look at it, it's just due to money. You know, they want the excess income, so they will milk something like what's happened in Assassin's Creed Unity, where now all the DLC's been cancelled because they want to focus on making the game look better because they rushed the game out of the door. And that's another big peeve. Why would you rush something just to get something out there for a deadline, you know?
I
thought of this earlier. And
Whoa, one at a time. Nick, go first. Go on.
See, there's my peeve right there. I was letting you guys go. It's the fucking Assassin's Creed Unity debacle.
Yeah.
Fuck! Look, I haven't even played the game yet. I have the Xbox One bundle, so I got 4 and Unity. I'm working my way through Assassin's Creed 3 right now. So, unfortunately, by the time I get to Unity, all the patches will be there and everything will be running fine.
But yeah, because I question this decision of Ubisoft trying to do one Assassin's Creed a year if this is what they're going to turn out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cannon fodder.
I love the series.
Utter shite.
I love the series.
I do too, but I found 4 very boring. Being a game that's supposed to be about pirates and ships and stuff, it was very boring.
I found 3 to be a bit of a slow burn.
So yeah, Dave, you had an answer to this as well.
I actually want to change that to something I watched earlier on tonight. I'm a little bit backed up and watching videos, but Larry Bundy Jr. Made a very good video just before Christmas where he talks about the problem with modern games is this. They're always broken upon release.
Yeah.
Because they know they have this, which you never had back in the day, obviously with solid state, sort of more solid state, like Mega Drive and the SNES and stuff like that. But now they're allowed to release a product that's basically 80% complete, knowing that they now... what I'm basically trying to say is they get to extend their deadline unnaturally, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Which is how I would finish it once it's come out. I think one of the really good examples of that was, did anyone ever play Sin on the PC?
No, not yet.
It was a really good game, but when it was first released, you had to wait 7 minutes when it was installed on your hard drive. I had it on to show the age of the game. I had it on my 466 from my Voodoo 3. Love you, Voodoo 3. Call me. And you had to wait 7 minutes for it to load. And then 2 weeks later, a patch came out and it dropped it to 30 seconds. And you're like, why are you releasing this? I'm waiting tape loading times from the 80s. And Larry said this, which is Watch Dogs, which I know you played, Mr. Burhan, and hated vehemently.
Oh, well, you know what? There was so many problems with that game, and the boastness, you know, and a lot of people just like, why do you compare this game to GTA? You went on a fucking high horse and said this will be a GTA killer. If you didn't say that, we wouldn't compare.
Well, do you know what? And he raised a good point. I don't know if it's the same on the Wii U because. Well, I was going to buy it. I was really hyped for it. It was sold out everywhere. But after I watched your video, I thought I ain't touching that with a turd stick.
One answer on here. Xander, say it.
Fuck Ubisoft.
There you go.
Yeah. But I was going to say, Larry said this, which is, if you play Watch Dogs now on the PC, apparently it's completely and utterly fixed. But then he made a really good point where he said, but who fucking cares? Because it's obsolete if it's not a new game. If it's not fixed as a new game, then people aren't going to buy it. So now that you can say, well, we fixed Watch Dogs, fucking 8 months later, no one cares.
But did they fix the storyline of Watch Dogs?
Yeah, that whole incesty molesty thing going on there. I have never been so
that would take the world's biggest bottle of whiteout.
I've never been so uncomfortable playing a game and playing through a story in my entire life. This was kind of like watching Alexander uncomfortable. You know, watching a bunch of people who are supposed to be Greek have a fake Irish accent because Colin Farrell didn't know how to fucking do the dialect. It was that bad, and it's
steal me Lucky Charms. Sorry.
Yeah, it was. Dude, watch Alexander. I literally, if you don't piss yourself laughing by the middle of that movie, and then the whole blatant homosexuality they just add in there for no fucking reason, you're just like, okay. But it's one of those.
So Tom Cruise turned away.
Yeah, it's one of those movies where the director actually apologised for it. But Watch Dogs was literally the same thing, where you would watch it and you had all this incest thing going on, and then suddenly, because they never fixed the character models, they decided to change the story but leave the character models as they were. So they're saying all these words like it was like watching a freaking cosplay porn movie. where he's like, well, I am your sister after all.
I was sure there's a market for that.
Yeah, but it's like, I am your sister after all, and I am your brother, and they had to literally say that every 5 minutes. I'm like, this doesn't make this less creepy. This really doesn't make it less creepy. It looks really creepy.
They should have put the line in, though, which is, you're my sister after all. This will make birthdays and anniversaries convenient.
Ow.
Sorry.
Ow. And then they did that thing where they were in the sex trafficking thing for no reason whatsoever. They just threw it in there. And I remember sitting there watching it, and my eyes were just like, what just happened? Why am I here? And then they had this dude texting his wife after he's had a kid, going, I'll be home in a little bit, while buying himself a prostitute. I was just like...
A classy bloke.
Yeah, I just went, why did you add this in there? What relevance does this have to the story? No relevance whatsoever.
Trying to compete with GTA by saying, look at us, we're shocking and out there. And that's people at the top working on the story afterwards because they think we need to be more impactful.
But then Ubisoft wonder why people couldn't connect with Aiden Pierce, because they made him do loads of questionable moral things, and then mid-game turn this guy's voice into fucking Batman for no fucking reason. So every time he was talking, he was like, I need to go and get myself a car.
Maybe he just had halitosis.
Yeah, and it was just like, dude, why the fuck, what happened? Did you get the flu all of a sudden? And it would literally just be like that for no reason. And there was no explanation. And the thing is, Ubisoft came out from a high when, and me and Xander talked about this in 2012. In 2013, me and Xander praised them. You go back on our 2013 editions of IGG, we praised Ubisoft. We praised Ubisoft Montreal. 2014, they've thrown all that under the bus. I mean, they've literally it was like they went from giving a shit to not giving a shit. And then there was that article on Reddit where someone who supposedly worked for Ubisoft, went out on the fact where this company has now gotten rid of dev testers.
Really?
Yeah, they don't.
Oh, that's a good move.
Yeah, they don't want QA testing. They let the developers QA test. That's like allowing a bad chef to taste their own food, right? That person's not going to find a problem with it because obviously he has no fucking taste, right? If you get a developer who doesn't really give a shit about a game to test a game, to see that it's working, they're not going to do a proper job. Xander, you know what, I'm going to throw this over to Xander
being
here.
a little chef. Sorry.
Yeah, I'll throw it over to Xander, because Xander's basically summed this up, because he had a huge problem with them going into 2014. Go for it, Xander.
Well, I think my biggest problem with Ubisoft was, I'm a Wii U owner. And Ubisoft pretty much just shut the door on Nintendo, and the reason why is the reason why they've said they've done it is because they said that the audience for Nintendo do not want mature rated games. They openly said it, and a lot of that is their own doing, because they didn't market their Ubisoft games that were mature rated. They didn't market those at all with Nintendo. When Assassin's Creed Black Flag came out, they hardly did any marketing for the Wii U version, but they did a lot of marketing for Just Dance. So, I mean, when you're going in GameStop and you see a big billboard that says Just Dance, and you see all this advertising for Black Flag on Xbox and PlayStation, but you see nothing on the Wii U, and granted, the Wii U had just came out. It was still very, very new. Ubisoft could have made a great relationship with Nintendo, but they totally threw it out of the door. Then with the Watch Dogs, okay, they kept pushing back Watch Dogs, and at first I was going to get Watch Dogs. I'm like, I'm getting this on the Wii U. But they kept pushing it back, and then by the time Watch Dogs came out for the Wii U, no one gave a shit. And then Ubisoft was like, well, look at the sales for Watch Dogs on the Wii U. Obviously, no one wants to play it. It's because the hype's already dead.
For your mismanagement, basically.
Yeah, but this was like,
exactly.
This was like 8 months after the fucking initial release, wasn't it?
Something like that. Like, for a while it felt like it would never come out on the Wii U and everyone forgot about it. And then suddenly it's there. We're like, what?
I don't even think they've released it over here in the UK, have they, Dave? The Wii U version.
Oh, I don't know if they've released.
You probably
seen a copy.
Yeah.
And you probably never will, because Ubisoft doesn't give a shit. They probably gave, your retail stores, they probably gave them 3 copies.
Yeah.
Do you get those things in your what we call catalog stores in this country where that you don't browse or anything like that? You literally go in, you read a catalog, and then you walk up to the counter with a filled and paper slip. Sometimes for fun, we call them Argus. Sometimes just for fun, I still walk into the one downtown in Bedminster, and they have little keypads where you can enter the product code for something and see if it's in stock. Sometimes just for fun, I still enter Watch Dogs on the Wii U for it to say not in stock.
Oh, jeez.
It's in that catalog.
I haven't had an experience like that since Funkoland was open. Funkoland, when they were open at the time, and I miss Funkoland so much. Actually, a lot of my Nintendo games still had the Funko cardboard sleeves, because what you would do is when you go into Funkoland, they wouldn't have price tags on their games. They'd give you a newspaper, and the newspaper had all the games and how much they were going for, how much they were selling it, and how much you would get for trading it in. So you would already know how much.
Literacy at the same time as selling products. Good on them.
It was awesome. It was awesome. I loved it.
Yeah, the thing that bothers me about this whole scenario is it just seems now how, because I remember they went on about it, and another thing that leads on to, which has become a big controversy in 2014, was Bayonetta. Platinum Games released Bayonetta. The game sold out. Yet, because people like Sarkeesian has become very ingrained in the social media industry of gaming, even having a rumour that she was basically going to be working on the new Mirror's Edge game, which has not been confirmed, so I'm not going to basically add to any of these rumours. But because of that, game companies like they had a gaming awards in 2014. I think IGN basically were responsible for it, and they totally ignored Bayonetta because they deemed it was deemed by companies like Kotaku as sexist. Now, I've got my double edition of Bayonetta 1 and 2 here. My brother got me for my Christmas present. I love this game. It's one of my favourite games. The game sold out.
The first one's not straightforward. It's cleaned up and everything, isn't it?
Yeah, it's so much better than the 360 version. I enjoyed it so much. And the amount of backlash this game is getting is extremely unjust. I think the most awkward moment in Bayonetta 1 that I had was when she started dancing. At the end, my eyes were just like, what the fuck is this shit? But the game itself has been fun, and there's nothing... You can get past the kind of... The bits in the game where she does the erotic poses and stuff, but it's all parody. It's all like cliche. Do you know what I mean? It's not done for people to take seriously. It's a B-movie.
It's a very polished B-movie.
Yeah, that's it. And if you check out Devil May Cry, it's pretty similar. She's basically a female version of Dante. And being a fan of the Devil May Cry series, I saw this game as something which I'd say an unofficial successor to that series of games. And the backlash that it was getting from the media, in a sense, boggled my mind.
I had a backlash from the start, though, if you remember. Everyone, when it was announced for the sequel was going to be on the Wii U, everyone went all batshit crazy. This is prior to, PlayStation 4 and Xbox. Everyone went mental, didn't they? Saying, like, why is this on this system? That's not fair. It comes back to what Xander said. It's a kid's system, blah, 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 blah. We should get this game.
Yeah, it's porn. But I've enjoyed the game, and I haven't enjoyed it because I'm watching a woman like go around and seductively move in certain ways. I've basically enjoyed it because it's basically a very good hack and slash shoot 'em up style game. That's what it is. It's nothing, there's nothing special about it apart. It's got real bad acting. The story is hilariously bad. But it's a fun game to play.
Yeah, 60 FPS though.
Yeah, it's a fun game to play, and it's not like games that try and take themselves seriously, like Call of Duty, which has released another glossy game. Oh, how are we going to fix the Call of Duty franchise? Let's just add Kevin Spacey for no fucking reason.
Turn it into Halo.
He was playing it in House of Cards actually at one point as well.
Yeah, and you look at it and think, okay, I can understand why you've added this guy into it, but if you spent the money that you spent on Kevin Spacey, you could have spent on polishing your game up and making the mechanics work a lot better. but that's
he's
for
the
me.
chairman of sorry people, boring random fact. He's the chairman of the Old Vic in Bristol, which is the oldest theatre in the country.
It's not in Bristol, it's in London.
No, the Old Vic's in Bristol.
No, it's in London, mate.
Look it up.
That's the one that he's chairman of, Waterloo.
That's the oldest one. Well, fuck off, ours is in Bristol, it's better.
Yeah, we've had conversations about this before.
I would like to say quickly about Bayonetta, which is, the whole, TNA aspect and stuff like that. Am I just the only person who just goes, sorry if I could be chauvinistic for a second, people, but I can't find her attractive because her clothes are made of her hair.
It's not just that, it's the thing that's not that attractive about her anyway is because of the fact that every little sultry pose that she does, like even when she's firing the gun, she's like, it's funny.
I know exactly what I'll buy her for her birthday, though.
It's funny.
A razor.
Is she going to vibrate her?
Yeah, it's funny. It's one of those things that you just sit there and you think, this is just funny parody. Jamie, Jamie, since you've returned, what is a pet peeve of yours? What do you have that you feel that's just, it's ridiculous, that's really pissed you off? It could be anything gaming related, including your channel, so go for it.
I think one thing that really pisses me off, it is my channel related. Recently, I do a lot of game reviews and stuff like that, and what pisses me off, it's not just me, it's other women in general. If you are female and you talk about video games or anything nerdy, it can be comics or anything like that, you are automatically categorized into two things. Oh my god, you're really hot and sexy, I don't really give a fuck about what you're talking about, I want to date you, what's your Google+? Or, you're a woman, you have no idea what you're talking about, you just like this because it's quote popular and you're a fake gamer girl. And that pisses me off to no end, because why the fuck can't I be intelligent about something that isn't cooking, cleaning, and sex? And it's like, the only comments I've had on my YouTube channel lately are, wow, you're really hot, what's your Google+? Or I had one guy who's like, wow, you're really tasty, and just stuff like that, and it's fucking ridiculous, and it was things on like my Resident Evil and stuff like that, and it's like, thank you for paying attention to the content.
Can we go, find them now? That's not cool.
That isn't, I agree.
Do what that one YouTuber did and was facing the harassment online, told their mothers.
I remember that.
Classic.
Yeah, but it's like, that's not, the issue is just, it doesn't matter, what you shouldn't have to be to do these things to get them to stop. They shouldn't do it to begin with. It doesn't matter if I have a vagina, boobs, and ovaries. Holy shit, I like video games.
Wait.
I don't know.
Jamie, you have a vagina, boobs, and ovaries?
It's either, yeah, right? It's like either I don't know a damn thing about what I'm talking about. I've actually had people test me when I tell them that I like certain series, especially Resident Evil. They'll be like, oh, well, what's your favorite game? And and it wasn't like, oh, well, what's your favorite game? It was, well, what's your favorite game? Like, if I said anything other than 2 or 4, they were going to automatically just write me off. And basically, me and my fiance held a Resident Evil panel, a history Resident Evil panel, where we spent 2 hours talking about the entire history of Resident Evil, starting all the way back in the 1960s and 70s when Umbrella was first founded. And as soon as the panel started, the front row of guys, it was all guys, there were no girls, which is fine. The front row of guys leaned over to each other and goes, well, we'll just see how this goes.
What?
Because I was the main one hosting the panel, and I was a female. And they looked over and said, well, we'll just see how this goes, and if it's bad, we'll leave.
Basically just be like, yeah, get out.
Yeah, and I looked up, and one of the first things I asked was, so who ordered the hit on Chris Redfield and made him leave Raccoon City? Hey. Not a single damn one of them knew. Most of the questions I asked them for trivia, none of them fucking knew. And I looked up and I said, wow, you guys call yourself fans? You're a disgrace.
Yeah. Get out.
Most of them...
Oh, snap.
Most of them all of them asked for my channel name, and at least 2 of them asked for the file that I had written on this panel.
Why?
And it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So
it's ridiculous that I get judged because of my gender.
They're not worth it. Like, I know what you mean, because I haven't personally had that, because I'm not really on YouTube, but the stories I've heard, it's like everywhere. It sometimes makes me afraid to go to conventions.
Yeah, like, it's not just me.
Yeah, there's either one way of thinking when it comes to this sort of situation. Is one, you have certain people, like, judge you in regards to your knowledge. It's like, I remember I did one video on when Anita Sarkeesian first started going on about trying to... The thing is, most people don't understand my problem with Anita Sarkeesian. A lot of people come up to me, it's like, oh, you're anti-feminism, aren't you, in gaming? I was like, no, I'm not. I'm anti-Anita Sarkeesian because I find people like her dangerous. And the reason I find people like her dangerous is because she's not a gamer. She's said time and time again, I'm not a gamer. If it's someone like you, Jamie, for instance, who would come out and say, I'm a gamer, I love gaming, here's the facts. Like, we did a Resident Evil episode that you hosted. And we had and we had basically Megaran on the episode as well, and it was an episode that you hosted, and it was a great episode because it was really enjoyable.
I missed a trick. Can someone just quickly explain to me the what we're talking about? Sorry.
Basically, the short end of it is Jamie at the moment is getting comments in terms of her YouTube channel. People asking for her Google Plus, saying that she's good looking.
It's basically like, because I like games and stuff, if a woman likes games, they're either classified as a goddess and there's to be hit on mercilessly, or they're judged for it because, oh, you can't possibly know what you say you know.
I think it's also, I agree with that, but I think it's also social media, which is if you put yourself out there.
Oh, yeah, totally.
And I'm not trying to hit on you when I say this, but you're attractive. So if you put yourself out there, then you're going to get a bunch of, how do I word this without summing up 3/4 of my country? A bunch of pervy little pricks who seem to think that,
it's like, I knew that as soon as I put myself out... Yeah, I knew as soon as I put myself out on social media...
It shouldn't be this, but if you put yourself out on social media, because of all the dodgy, dirty aspects of social media, people automatically think they it's... this is going to sound terrible, but you know what I mean, hopefully. It sounds, if you put yourself out there, you sound available to them, and that's why they do it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, Colin has even went to these people and been like, I'm her fiance. She is taken, and they're like, dude, you don't know what you're talking about, calm down. I was just telling her she was pretty and stuff like that. And Colin's like, no, this is inappropriate. And it's like,
because I said you're attractive. Okay.
No, but again, as well, you do have people who have come out. Jessica Negri, for instance, doesn't make things any better when she's saying I'm dressing slutty for my fans, and you just sit there and think, really?
Oh, jeez.
What?
Yeah.
And it's like another thing that really gets me upset is like when it's like you have to play the games yourself. If you watch a walkthrough, then you don't know what the hell you're talking about. And I'm like, okay. I obviously didn't watch the same game.
To be appreciated.
There was one thing.
Dictate how he should enjoy a product.
Well, let's ask. Xander wants to make a point on here. Dave, go on, Xander.
Sorry.
Yeah, what I was going to say. No, it's all good. What I was going to say was, when we mention cosplayers like Jessica Negri and stuff like that, to me, Jessica Negri goes back to what we were talking about with Hatred.
Yeah.
Hatred, that game, it was pulled off, and, it shouldn't have been pulled off, freedom of speech, whatever. But the thing is Hatred was that game that was going to set us back. People like Jessica Negri, I understand that it's her body and she can do what she wants, and more power to you, sister, but it really sets it back. Because you have people like her that's coincidentally trying to reverse what women are trying to do in this whole media, and that is be treated like a fucking person. You have these girls that love to cosplay, and they do it because they enjoy the art and they put a lot of effort into it. And then you have people like Jessica Negri that are just trying to be a sex symbol, and it gives a totally misconception to the average schmo of what cosplay is. They see Jessica Negri and they're just a bunch of girls trying to look for attention. They're trying to look slutty. It's like, no, that's not all of them. It's such a terrible stereotype. And it's just like there's, just like anything, there's good people that make something look bad just as well as there's good people that are trying to fix the situation. That goes with everything. That goes with, any sort of media, any sort of thing whatsoever. And it really grinds my gears because I have a lot of friends that are girls that play video games, and there's a lot of times I've had to step in and, ban guys from group pages because they were just being completely stupid.
Yeah, I remember when we were doing the Happy Console Game before, and we had one guy literally hitting on one of the forum members because she was posting cosplay pics. And it was just so really... And it wasn't like casual flirting either. It was really like degrading kind of stuff.
Scary shit, yeah.
Yeah, and me and Xander, we always have conversations about this and think, why would you take that shot? Why would you sit there and make that comment when you know that the fact by making that comment, you're making yourself look like an asshole and you're embarrassing the person that you're making that comment to in the first place?
Well, and it's also the fact that there's also the fact that there is a way to comment things like that. If you see an attractive woman, don't say, wow, you're tasty, or you're fucking attractive, or something like that. Say, wow, you're really pretty, or you look really nice.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound 100,000 times as creepy as you're tasty. And that just reminds me of like the fucking Resident Evil itchy tasty dude. Like, I'm tasty, itchy tasty. It's like, if you want to tell me I'm pretty, I take that as a compliment. Wow, you're attractive, you're really pretty, or you look nice. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. But at least say something nice. If you're going to say I'm attractive in a YouTube comment, at least bullshit something you liked about my video, please. To make the comment relevant.
I know, I get many a guy saying how attractive he is. It's all the beard.
I do have one little rant real quick that I wanted to talk about, and that is, and we're stepping it back because we've been talking about modern gaming. I'm going to talk a little bit about retro. I think one of the things that really pissed me off about the retro gaming scene, and not the community, because there's a lot of people that I consider great friends, including all of you guys. But the thing is what I really hate about the retroness is the people that post videos of pickup videos and talk about the value of video games and then complain that the prices are going up. That's one of the biggest pet peeves I have of mine. They'll have like a game and they'll be like, well, I got this game for, 25 cents. It goes on eBay for $50. So then the average Smo is going to see that game and they're going to be looking for that game, or they're going to realize they have an attic full of retro games and they're going to think that every one of those games are worth $50 plus, and they're going to turn around and try to sell it. And then you'll have that person that made that pickup video that initially caused the fire turn around and say, this scene is just getting too much. It's not fun to collect anymore. And that just pisses me off. It's like setting your house on fire and being like, damn, my house is burning down.
Yeah, look at that insurance.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, dude, you shouldn't have fucking started the fire in the first place. You're in the wrong here, man. No, I agree with you.
Another thing is too, is I don't get it as much anymore, and I think it's because I kept talking about it. But I used to get so many messages of people that would just add me on Facebook and they would just message me about how much a game was worth. Or they'd be like, hey, I'm at the flea market right now and they have like 20 Nintendo games for a quarter. Should I get it? God, man, that shit used to piss me off so much, and people don't really do it anymore. And all I can say is, if you want to collect retro, do it for yourself. Don't do it for the acceptance of some random person in cyberspace. Just get the games you want to play. Who cares how much they go for online? If you enjoy it, good for you. If you like playing Bayou Billy, but everyone else hates it, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, it's
your collection.
Yeah, I've had this conversation with people constantly. People would be messaging me like, how much is this game worth? And I just went to him, dude, how much is it worth to you? And then he'd be like, well, that's not an answer to my question. I said, that's the only answer you're going to get.
You remember Burhan, when I made a post on Facebook that had nothing to do with gaming, and this guy just totally comments and asks me how much Final Fantasy 12 goes for online?
Yeah, and I ripped him a new one. I remember that I ripped him a new one. He was like, geez, you don't have to be an ass about it. And I was like, read the fucking thread first. And the dude was, and I remember you deleted the thread afterwards because you were just like, I had to, you really went to town on that guy. 'Cause it bugs me, and I do it a lot. And then another thing as well, and I was pointing this out to Xander recently. You got a YouTube channel, great. You know, it's a great thing that you have a YouTube channel. Take my hat off to you. I hope it does well, right?
Yeah.
But this is applicable for Dave. This is applicable for Xander. It's applicable for Rob, man, everybody. Do not go and post your videos on someone's timeline and demand that they look at your videos.
Oh, that's so annoying.
Yeah, this is...
Just work on it yourself.
This has happened. This has happened a lot. I've had Dave's timeline like fucking molested with videos after video after video from people going, hey Dave, look at this video I made. Look at this video I made. Look at this video I made. Or in Rob's timeline where someone posted a video and then went, Rob, man, I need your comment and feedback immediately because I need, you need to help me. And I'm just like, really? Fucking really? What set? You either got a big set of balls, or you are the stupidest motherfucker I've ever met in my life. Because, yeah, going about and doing things in that way and insulting, and that's what you're doing. You're insulting someone by spamming their timeline with shit.
Yeah.
In the end, if I have a video, I will message Xander and say, hey, dude, because I know the subscribe button doesn't work as well, and people don't get access to your videos unless you have to embed them in your feed. Because I have to literally ask for email updates, which I've been going around doing, right? It's basically a way that anyone has to do it if they have a YouTube channel. Don't go around fucking posting videos on someone's timeline. It's like, it is fucking annoying. I've posted on Xander's message and say, hey, take a look at my video, and he would like, I'll take a look when I get home. Because that's the way you should do it. And they do it a lot. And the amount of people that keep spamming and trolling and it's getting to the point, there are groups where you can post your video and content. There are groups. There's a Happy Console Gamer group. You can post your videos in there. Even though Johnny's
a gaming community.
Yeah, there's gaming communities. There's YouTube, Facebook groups that allow you to do that, right? You don't need to go and post on someone's timeline because you're going to get yourself either unfriended or you're going to get heat. And if I'm going to bitch at you, there is a reason.
Yeah.
I will not stop. I will bitch and I will moan and I will yell. Because it's the annoying thing. Or, if you're going to post a video on someone's timeline, just tag them in your video. Because I know good guys that do that. They will tag you in their video with 4 or 5 different other people so no one else can see it. Just you and just everyone else that they've tagged. Simple fact. Don't
in the post where you put the video in, tag their names.
Yeah, you can tag, you can make it public, you can, what it is, there's a friend setting, but there's only certain. There's one which I think it's like only certain friends can see it. Yeah. And their friends of friends won't be able to see that video, and that's the way you should do things, not the other way. And it bugs me. It bugs me, and it's one of the biggest pet peeves that just it irritates me to no end.
Yeah.
And it happens. I remember, Xander, we've had it a couple of times, haven't we, where people just been posting random videos on our timelines. It's just like,
yeah,
right,
Oh, hey.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, take a look at my channel. I'll take a look at your channel. Do you want to do sub for sub? I remember one dude added me as a friend, messaged me, and was like, take a look at my video, and I was like, have you subbed my channel or looked at my content? Oh no, I don't do that. Then why the fuck am I looking at your channel for? I was like, how did you find me? Are you adding me just for the point of promoting your channel? Yeah, fuck off. It's the thing, you don't even know who I am. Why are you adding me? It's yeah, and it bugs me. And anybody out there who is anybody should know that you've got to be more well behaved when it comes to stuff like that in terms of your content. If you're happy to make videos, great on you, but just basically get your content out there and make good content and stop trying to troll people with it or spam people's channels with content because it's not going to work. Oh yeah, and also stop copying other YouTubers. Fuck! That annoys me the hell. The amount of people that I see with the gaming collection in the background, like they're the happy fucking console gamer, doing the exact same thing that a happy console gamer would do, or sitting there trying to ad-lib everything. You know, certain people, for most of these guys, use a fucking script if you have to, because you obviously don't know what the fuck you're talking about from memory, right?
Yeah.
And there's certain people, and it's like that I would sit there and say, I can see where that their channel kind of reminds me of another channel spiritually, but they do their own thing. Like Xander reminds me of HCG, but he does his own thing. And Dave reminds me of Steve Benway, but he does it in his own way, right? Find a new and unique... Yeah, find a new and unique way to present yourself. Don't fucking sit there and just copy and paste someone else's channel, because that doesn't make you a YouTuber. That makes you a dick. You know, that makes you a copycat.
Chris Balls.
Sorry?
Oh! Shots fired! Oh, fuck.
Yeah, no, but it does. It bugs me, and it's one of those things that it bugs me a lot, because we get a ton of YouTube channels and a ton of YouTubers that are doing the same exact thing. You know. Oh, and also the pessimist behaviour. This is another thing that bugs me. Pessimistic people who, when you put out a project and they're like, oh, this is going to be like everything else, or you're not done it right, watch what they're fucking doing first. If someone puts something out... Yeah, I know. When I announced the Silent Hill project, people were just like going... You had some people who wanted to see what happens. Others like, oh, they're going to fuck it up. It's not even been made yet. No, they're going to fuck it up.
That goes right there with the whole... Oh, this rates my childhood. Yeah. I hate that saying now. Yeah, I hate it so much, because I understand there's things that come out that, you know, like okay, Michael Bay, like ruining the Ninja Turtles, ruining Transformers, you know, oh, they made another, you know, cartoon based off of an 80s cartoon. I understand that it feels kind of weird, but the thing is your childhood is not raped. It's not going to change your opinion. It's not like when they made the new Transformers that your memories of crying when Optimus Prime died in the original Transformers movie was completely wiped away like Cloud in Final Fantasy. But it's not like it was wiped away like Final Fantasy VII's Cloud, you know? You still had those memories. Your childhood is fine. It's for a new generation. Get over it. If you don't want to watch it, don't, you know? But your childhood is not raped, and everything is going to be completely okay.
It doesn't, like, automatically negate what's already been made. Also, the whole raping your childhood term sounds really awful. I think another one is that ruins, my childhood is ruined or something. It's like, no, it's not. All your stuff's over there. You can stick to that if you want. You don't have to participate if you don't want to.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? If you don't like something, if you don't like a game franchise, the amount of complaints I've heard about Dragon Age Origins, right? I haven't even played the game yet, and people are like, oh, you're going to hate the game, it's fucking shit. And I'm just like, dude, I haven't even fucking played it yet.
You know. That's the damn thing, but yes.
Yeah, oh, Inquisition was terrible. Why did it get so many awards?
Really? Oh, wait, no. Do you like it so far, then?
I haven't actually put it in. I'm gonna actually, once I've gotten ahead on my editing, I'm gonna actually play it and then get enough information for my review and then finish the game.
Okay, let me know if you want help, because I've played it 1.5 times now, and I love it.
I'll probably be asking both you and Tam, but it's one of those things that you sit there and think, okay, you're ruining my experience in this game by sitting there going, oh shit. You know,
that's true.
At the end of the day, critique a game, it's fine. I review games. It's one of the things that I do, right? When I review them, I always try to look at the positives and negatives. And when I see a big negative in a game, then I will point it out and I will try my best to make a game seem good. If it's not worth the money, I'll say, for me, it's not worth the money. I don't think it's a good game. In my opinion, blah, 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 blah. That's an opinion.
You're being honest, which is the entire fucking point.
Exactly. I'm not going to sit there and go, the game's shit. It's like Watch Dogs. When people say to me, why don't you like Watch Dogs? Well, these are the reasons behind it. I don't like it. You might like it, but I don't. You know,
I personally don't, yeah.
There's a difference, you know, and it bugs me when people just like, I hated it. Why did you... Okay. It was terrible. I'm just taking an opinion. No, you really aren't. You're just being nihilistic about this game. At the end of the day, it's not your cup of tea, it's someone else's cup of tea. You know, you don't like Earl Grey, you're probably going to go for ginger tea. You don't like ginger tea, you probably like yourself some mixed herbs and spice. You don't like that, you may go for something else. There's other selections out there. There's other games that you may like. Like if you're an RPG guy, you may like your FPS shooters. You don't like your FPS shooters, you may like your hack and slashes. You don't like those, you may like your platformers. I know me and Xander are huge platform fans, you know. We love playing our Mario games and stuff. We like those games.
Oh, yeah.
I never understand people who sit there and they want to bitch and moan about a game. If a game is broken, you have every right to sit there and bitch about this game.
Yeah.
That's no... you know, it's like the whole thing that Nick said it, it's relevant. Sending a game out broken, bullshit. I'm like...
Or
you know,
here's this. If you're tired of all the Call of Duties and you're tired of all the games come out every single year, quit buying them. Because the thing is like, you'll get someone that's complaining. They're, oh, another Call of Duty. Oh. Then like 3 months later, they post like the picture of them holding up the game and like, just picked up the new Call of Duty.
Yeah.
I'm like, you just contradict yourself.
No, but the thing is, like, I did a review of Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. I'm not a fan of the Call of Duty games, but I picked it up and I did it, and I talked about the fact where the game itself was a cut and paste of a previous iteration, and they could have done a lot more. That's fine. Again, I'm not very aggressive when it comes to stuff like this, but I know exactly what I'm looking for in terms of what makes a game work. And I've been spoiled on games like Destiny, and again, people have been bitching about Destiny. Oh, it lacks story. I'm like, I'm looking at it as an FPS shooter. You know, just basically play the game. There's got to be something that you might like about it, and there's got to be something that you don't. And that's why I go to reviewers who give an honest review. The same thing happened with Sonic Boom. Pro Jared talked about it. This is what was the problem with the game. Most of the reviews I heard was, and I wasn't given a review copy. Fuck you and not giving your review copy. Seriously. If you don't want to buy the game, rent it. There's a red box out there. Rent the fucking game. Stop being a fucking dickhead and a cheese nozzle, right? Don't feel like you're an entitled fucking dick who should be getting free games from people because you're doing them a favour. You're really not. You know, it's...
Yeah, don't be a dickbag, people.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where you've got to look at it and look at the whole entire thing here and say, right, does the game work? No. What's the problem with the game? This is the problem, this is the problem, this is the problem. You send the feedback and say, this doesn't work for me, this game is terrible, blah, 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 blah. I know some game companies will send the game out broken and they'll purposely not send out review copies because they know that people are going to trash it. Right? That's fair play. Right? But there are many ways to get this game without having to actually fork out the money for it. Because I had to pay for it isn't a reason why a game should get a bad review. That shouldn't be on your fucking bad review list. At all.
Because you're the one that decided to buy it.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
You know, and that's it. It does bug me. And Xander's point correctly, it stands... If you don't like a game, like the whole Castlevania Lords of Shadow things, I hated the fucking Lords of Shadow 2, people like saying. Great. Oh, look, I just picked up a copy of Lords of Shadow 2. Really?
Why?
So, yeah. You venomously shat on this game, but you've got a copy. It's like, I don't like Watch Dogs. Do you see me having a copy of Watch Dogs? Do I have a copy? No. I don't even have a Wii U copy. I don't have any copy of the game. You know why? Because it's garbage. I don't play it. I don't want to play it. The first time I had it, the experience I had playing that game soured me on the entire game. Don't care if they fix it. They don't give a crap. Doesn't matter to me whatsoever. You know, if I would have said the same if I got Assassin's Creed Unity and I purchased it full price and the game was broken. I would come back and say, I don't care if you've got updates. I don't care if you fix the problems. I'm not playing the game now. I paid full price for this game. You've insulted me by giving me this game broken. It is what it is. But to venomously bash a game and it bugs me. It totally bugs me. There are things you can find that will make something work, you know. And when you review something, when you critique something, look at that. Play through the entire thing first, and don't do. And the funniest thing I saw was Xander showed me a parody he did of people holding up a game and going, "This is my game. This is my channel. This is the review of the game. It was great. Subscribe." That's literally what you
I
see
might
from
have
people.
seen that. It was a while ago. I might have seen that. It was
Yeah.
funny. Yeah, that was a while ago.
Yeah, it was
awesome.
that video.
But that's hilariously what I've seen some channels do as well, and I've seen people come out and present videos where they're just standing there and they're going, so I want to do a video on this and talk about this game and how this game works, and anyway, and you're just like, what? The thing is that there's got to be a premise, you know, YouTube 101, there's a premise for your video. What's the premise? 2, make sure you know your facts about what you're talking about. 3, make sure you basically know that you're talking to an audience out there and you're not, you know, uncomfortable. If you're uncomfortable, we've all been uncomfortable. There's videos of me way back when I've been uncomfortable in front of the camera, but you learn to kind of evolve past that in a sense. And then, you know, and then 4, when you're basically, you know, presenting that information, make sure you don't sound like you're fucking sniffing glue at the same time, because, you know, it's fucking annoying as hell, because when people look at you, they're going to judge you by that one video that you make. I've seen so many bad review videos where people are just talking shit for the sake of getting hits. It's ridiculous. And I think that's my 2 cents on that matter. Oh yeah, you know, my last peeve, and I'm going to say one more, is the people that want to troll. They use YouTube as a way to troll others. And I mean this because it's coming up to the anniversary of a good friend's death. Justin Giuliano Carmichael, and the videos that people released on bullshit, like that I killed Giuliano video. I'm not going to fucking talk about the channel that it came from.
Thankfully never looked into that, and when I saw your video, I haven't heard anything about it, so thankfully I managed to avoid this.
Oh, I flagged the fucker. I flagged them. Or the Twitter accounts with the dude basically saying he was, you know, Robman the douche. That bugged me as well. It makes me fucking angry, and the fact that the person took a personal shot at the guy's kids.
Wait, what?
Yeah, the dude was basically like, it was obviously someone who was friends with Robman on Facebook, because he knew that Robman had some issues, and he said something in the vein of that, and it was very aggressive, very ignorant, and sleazy at the same time. And I want to point out to people like that, if you're going to do that, here's an idea. If you don't like someone, it's the internet. It's a vast place. The block button is your friend. Block them and avoid them. Stop taking shots at them. There was no point. You know, at the end of the day, you got a conflict. Look past it. Because the more you do shit like this, the more people are going to think that you're a fucking shithead. Or if you're going to do it, identify who you are. Because if you think that you've got brass balls to kind of mock someone and their family, let us know who you are, because you know what? It'll make it so much easier to kick your fucking ass. Ugh. But me and Xander we basically reported the fucking Twitter account. I think it's gone now anyway. But it's not even a parody account. It's not like fucking Cranky Vince or something like that.
That's terrifying. Right.
Yeah, it is terrifying, because you're taking... You're attacking someone's family, and that's where the thing that bugs me. His kids have got nothing to do with what he does in the Happy Console Gamer.
No, and I know them as well, so it's like, what?
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh my god.
What about you, Xander? Have you had any like experiences with trolls?
No, I mean, no, not really. I think the only thing that I've had issues with is my 2 most disliked videos on my YouTube channel. One is where I was explaining why I wasn't buying Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes, and the other one was when I did a review of the Angry Video Game Nerd movie. You know, I made my own personal opinion about it. I liked the movie, and some people turned around and said that I was getting paid for the review. Some people thought James Rolfe got contact with me and actually paid me to do the review, and some people even said,
Xander, if you got James Rolfe to contact you and pay you for the review, wouldn't you have had him on Access Gaming or something?
Yeah, you would think.
Your money's worth.
Yeah,
exactly.
But yeah, some people thought that, you know, I did that, and some people even think I may have done some sexual favors. But Yeah, go twist on that one. But yeah, I mean, that's really the only problem I've had. I've never really had anybody really troll me too hard, other than just get upset because of an opinion.
But it's true though.
I do always get that one dislike person though. There's someone out there that dislikes all my videos, but like I put up a new video, and right when I put it up, it got a dislike. But it doesn't bother me because that person really loves to watch my channel because they're like the first people to watch it. Even if they dislike it, they love my content that much.
Yeah, and that's what I find as well. At the end of the day, the amount of people. You go out of your way to dislike someone's content on their channel. That just shows that you really are a dipshit. Because you're going onto that person's channel, you're giving them views, you're giving them hits, and you're getting aggressive with them because you feel that that's the best way to go about it. It does nothing for you. It does nothing for your cause, and it does nothing for anything you're doing, because all you're doing is being obsessive over someone who's making money from your obsession, and that's if someone's channel is monetized. You know, it makes me laugh. And in the end, what I will say to you sad people out there who've got nothing better to do, get lives, get girlfriends, start a family.
Or boyfriends. Get laid.
Or boyfriends, exactly. Get laid. Play a game. Watch anime. Do something other than harass somebody.
Eat Putin.
Yeah.
Outside.
Eat Putin. Just do something other than harass someone because you feel that that person disagrees with you. And by the way, your MSG5 video, I agreed with you 110%. I was on the same level as you in terms of that, you know.
Yeah, that could be a whole nother rant right there. Just check out the video, guys. Look it up on YouTube on my channel, and I explained the whole reasons why I didn't buy Metal Gear Solid's Ground Zeroes, which is now $5 on PlayStation Network.
Yeah, and I'm the same thing. It's like I still won't buy it, even though it's $5 because it was a demo. That's it, you know. They tried something and fans kind of clinged onto it, and it was starting a very negative trend, which is something that I still wouldn't do. I wouldn't buy a copy of a game that I don't feel was completed. It was an unfinished game, and it was unfinished. But because they thought, oh, let's put it out there anyway because we can make money off it, and they did. They made money off of it. I'm not hating on Konami for it because they made money off of it. It's like, imagine if you had to pay for the PT demo. People would probably sit there and be okay with it. They would have been okay with that. Hey, you know that, Xander. Any money, they would have been okay with paying for that PT demo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And it comes down to the fact that, look, I pointed this out before. I pointed it out when I was talking about the WWE thing. When I was, Nick knows, I'm dying on my own like premise here, because the WWE have enacted a new policy in wrestling where if you work for them and you parted ways, they will enforce a contract obligation where you can't work for anyone else for a year. So they're cutting off your revenue stream. Yeah, you can't work for anyone else for a year. And
which won't hold up in any fucking court of law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I basically talked about this, of if you're a wrestling fan, then, you know, there's alternatives out there, including www.lafights.com. Go and check that out, support that. Nigel McGuinness is currently doing that for his Kickstarter. But as a gaming fan, as a film fan, if you don't like something, don't buy it. Don't go out there, say, that you like something, and then pay for it. Do you know what I mean? It makes no sense. You don't like something, you don't like a company. It's like when Rob Mann has basically, stopped supporting Capcom. He doesn't buy anything Capcom related. Right? That's his hill to die on. That's exactly what he does. I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I will basically die on that hill. If there's something that you feel strongly about, don't support it. Back yourself up, back your references, and for God's sake, make sure that you understand what you're doing, because the one thing I hate, one of my biggest pet peeves, are hypocrites. Now, let's go to plugs. We'll start with you, Xander. Plug away.
Yeah, you guys can check me out on YouTube, youtube.com/Xander Scullion. You can also check out the other two podcasts I'm a part of. One is Excess Gaming Podcast with James Gruesome, and that's on Podomatic.com. And you can also check out Entertainment Talk Nation on Podbean. And we just did an episode on that with the director of a fan-made Godzilla film that you guys can watch for free on YouTube called Godzilla Battle Royale. We had the director on the show, and we were interviewing him, and it was a lot of fun. So you can check all that out. And also, on my YouTube channel, all my content and podcast is also on nerdgenius.com and sponsored by the Retro and Limb Network.
Yep, and check that out, guys. If you go on to Nerd Genius and go to podcasts, you'll find the Excess Gaming Podcast on there. He also has his videos up regularly updated and stuff on there as well. And last but not least, go to www.nerdgenius.com to find this and many other shows as well. Now go, Sean Michelin, your plugs, please, sir.
Okay, I actually have a natural hairline. I don't have plugs, but but I'm dumb ching. Yeah, on YouTube I'm under Dietless79, as well as on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Sean J. Michelin. I do have a like page. It's semi-active. I'm going to be putting out new content again by month's end, mostly Raspberry Pi stuff, and just some gaming stuff and just talking about things. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So you want to check me out? Just Dietless79.
And Jamie.
Alright, you can check me out on Facebook at Hazardous Cosplay. Also on YouTube at Shimeji and on Instagram. And I also have a Snapchat now. Both of those are Hazardous Cosplay as well. And G-Virus Junkie on Twitter and Tumblr. I'll be at Knoxville Anime Day on the 17th. I'll be in the Artist Alley selling my artwork and my charms. So if you're in the area, come on by and say hey.
There you go. And Nick?
Alright, you can find me on YouTube at the Gaming Pegasus 187. You can find me on Twitter at Gaming Pegasus 187. I'm on Facebook at Nick Horacek. I am on the WWE Supercard servers at Pegasus 187. I'm on Instagram, Wii U, and Xbox Live at Pegasus 187. Everything is pretty much Pegasus 187 except for my PSN, which is the Extreme Enigma. When I created that, that was right around the time Jeff Hardy won the WWE title, so I was on a big Jeff Hardy kick at the time. So
I kind of soured on him after the whole drug issues thing. I soured on the guy.
Mm-hmm. I heard he's clean now and he's doing better, so that's good.
Hopefully.
I guess he just legitimately got knocked out at the lockdown taping.
Oh, you know what? The one thing that I will say. His match against Sting was hilarious because I've never seen someone as vexed as what Sting was just like, yeah, I agree, when the crowd was like, this is bullshit. But that's another podcast. Sarah.
Yep. Slamcast every Friday night.
There you go, 8 p.m.
Oh, yes. My plug, sorry, just kind of stopped. I'm on Facebook, so Sarah, S-A-R-A, Mortimer Illustration. I'm also on Tumblr with my kind of handle. It's Soraya, SIRAEA.tumblr.com. You can find me there. I am sharing a table with a friend of mine, Tam. We're going to be at the Vancouver Retro Gaming Expo on April 18th. If you're in the Vancouver area, it's in New Westminster, down at the Columbia Theatre. We'll be there all day selling art prints. I'll also be with another couple of friends of mine, Phil and Leah. We'll be at Northwest Fan Fest, which is on the last weekend of May. And we're selling prints and buttons under the banner of VI Nerds, which you can find on Facebook as well. So, selling prints and making money.
www.nerdgenius.com for everything basically nerdy on there. We've added Lid on the Long Box and Megas X1 now to Nerd Genius family. Welcome Anthony Fernandez to that. You've got a rather British review coming. You've got 2 new ones coming this week. First one is going to be Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U because it's going to be the easy video to make. The second one with 2K15 with guests Nick Horacek and Brandon Ligon. And then the week after I will be doing a review of Dragon Age Inquisition. Then you've got loads of other videos and content and bringing back some vlogs, including my Wrestle Ramblings vlog, where I'm going to be talking about the state of the professional wrestling industry, because I feel like the industry itself is kind of taking a downturn, but there's some positives, some negatives. Check out Slamcast, 8 p.m. every Friday with myself, Nick Horacek, Dave Wade, who's Lawn Boys Post 1975 on YouTube, so make sure you check out his channel. Thank you to everyone who's basically subbed. I've got I'm now on 297 subs, which is great. Thank you for everyone, all my new subscribers. I don't know where the hell you've been coming from, but my channel seems to be a lot more accessible. I want to have a great big thank you to Maker Studios, who are now sponsoring my YouTube and Daily Motion channels, the Nerd Genius and also Nerd Genius on Daily Motion. So, support that as well. If you want to support this podcast and all others, if you go to patreon.com, Nerd Genius, donate generously, and we will make sure that we add you onto our thank you list at the end of our videos every time we produce a new one. And last but not least, guys, make sure you check out next week's episode of I Got Gameplay, Saturdays at 8 PM EST, 8:30 sometimes as well, depending on my schedule. I want to say a great big happy birthday to me. You can do by just going to facebook.com/Michael Burhan, or tweet me at Michael Burhan as well with a nice Facebook message, with a nice little birthday message. It's been so far so good. It's not really daytime yet, so I haven't really done anything for my birthday. I bought myself a little present. I got a nice 40k G basically weight vest that I'm going to be using at the gym. So when I do my workouts and stuff, I'm going to be using this vest. It's a really cool vest. I actually tried it out today when I went to my local Argos to go and pick up some stuff from eBay. It's so cool. eBay have this new thing where you can actually deliver stuff to Argos. It's amazing. So yeah, check out Burhan and the Boy every Wednesday or Thursdays at 8 to 8:30. Subscribe on youtube.com/UnlimRadio, youtube.com/IGotGameplay as well. And make sure that you check out all our brand new content. So thank you very much, guys. This is Michael Burhan for Sean Michelin, from Nick Horacek, Jamie Stiles, Sarah Mortimer, Xander Scullion and Dave Wade, saying that we've got gameplay. Have you?